Now call to order. I would like to request, you take a little bit of silence, please, for Robert Apple, who passed away yesterday. Mr. Apple served on the Missouri Board of Directors for approximately 8 years. You can please take a moment of silence. Thank you. I'm here for the flag, please. I think that's ready to grab the time. Okay.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic which is standing, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to call to action on one for the company on fire. I haven't been called. I'm going to. Kevin, I'll be actually. Thank you.
You might hear. No, here, one of our.
Hello, my name is Justin Kelly. I represent the fifth grade student council at Highland Elementary. I am here to talk about student council and the fun things that are happening at Highland. At Highland, we have the Highland Hero Program. The Highland Hero Program recognizes students who show Highland Hero behavior. H stands for honest, P stands for engaged, R stands for respect, O stands for almost. When students demonstrate this behavior, they earn a ticket for the weekly time. Students have the opportunity to win one of the 3 different weekly prizes. Fifth grade student council creates the Highland Hero newsletter. Students talk to staff and the BTO for information to include in the newsletter. We also take pictures that are added to our newsletter and we help design the newsletter. The student council also runs the school store, which goes to PTO, provides a free yearbook to all Highland students. With the school store, we practice our math skills, discuss government and laws, and raise money for the community. The fifth grade also helps to design the yearbook. As we think about moving on to the middle school next year, we realize how much we are going to miss. We have enjoyed our time here and we'll miss our teachers. But we won't miss the stairs to get to the. I don't know what I'm doing.
Hello, I am Justin Hardy.
I'm Tyson Kelly.
Thank you very much for coming. For district government, and if one day you come to the park for its entirety of the district website without its recognition meeting. Can I have a little policy? Mr. Carpenter. Here. Mr. Stevens.
Here.
Mrs. Fisher.
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher. Here. Mr. Beaver.
Here.
Mrs. Kehoe. Here. Mrs. Smith. Here. Mr. Dodgy.
Here. Okay.
Mrs. Romato. Here. All present. Thank you. The Board of School Directors held an executive session on Tuesday, February 7th, Wednesday, February 15th,
to discuss personnel matters subject to attorney-client privilege, and other confidentiality law, litigation, or threat litigation matters. Thank you. Committee correspondence this evening. Again, I received a correspondence from Jeff Jake, attorney, here asked that the public stay for the entirety of the board meeting. Thank you.
Do I have a motion to accept the correct minutes of Wednesday, January 11th, meeting, discuss voting and non-voting meeting, and Wednesday, January 8th? Second. All in favor? All opposed? And a motion to accept the treasurer's report dated January 2020. Thank you. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Any amendments for the agenda? Seeing none, so I have a motion to approve of the agenda. All in favor? Before we move to public discussion, I have asked Turnbull to give an update on the process that has taken place over the past year regarding Providence Charter applications to the district. Before I begin, I do want to address one thing that I've heard throughout the day today that is very untrue. And I don't want anybody to be concerned about it, especially those of you that are here in the public tonight. This has absolutely nothing to do with State Street Elementary or the future. So I just want to make sure that is heard loud and clear. Otherwise, just please open up your mind and. All right, I'm just gonna use a big voice, and if there's anyone in the back who can't hear me, just raise your hand and I'll try to project a little bit more. My name is Megan Turnbull. I'm a partner at White Hart Kramer. It's my honor to serve as the solicitor for the Ambridge Area School District. In that capacity, there's a lot of different things, but I was involved in this matter and giving advice to the board. So I'm happy to be able to provide and share some information with you too. When a charter school applies to a public school for a charter, it fundamentally falls under the charter school law, Pennsylvania law. I want to kind of do it this way, I can see all of school here. And so the starting point is charter school law, but this is a specific statute, and it's written in a way truly to facilitate and relatively quickly the application of a charter school. So a charter school is another type of public school. Charter schools have to come to the host school district, which simply means the place where the building, if it's going to be a brick and mortar school, where their proposed location would be. So in this situation, Providence Charter West applied to Ambridge over a year ago for consideration of the charter. That charter very specifically in their application identified the location, and that is the former Quigley High School building. The proposed location for the charter is a singular location, and that is the former Quigley High School. It is never a happy moment for a public school, for a traditional school district to receive one of these applications. But we look at it, we do it with fidelity. We have to do it relative to the actual charter school law, which says what has to be in the application, and if what needs to be in the application is there, then we keep on moving on. But there are limited options and places of subjectivity and relative judgment on the part of the school board about whether or not to grant it. So here we have the application was made to Ambridge. These are some of the criteria that the board has to apply. And that is whether or not the application contains comprehensive learning experience information, whether it serves as a model for other public schools, whether their strategy is included in the application, which is just literally like their paper, and it's a big fat paper, it's a big fat binder is what the board considered, whether they kind of meet these standards. And they have to show that there is sustainable support. And that is not just from within this singular school district. although Ambridge is the one that ultimately considered the application, any public school within roughly a 10-mile radius, which is the transportation obligation of any school district. This is not a school solely for Ambridge, and in all likelihood would be for a much wider range of students. That would probably extend into Allegheny County, and possibly as far as Butler County within that 10-mile radius. And we have to know, and it's for a lot of good reasons, but Providence Charter School is the existing charter school. It's a successful charter school within the Pittsburgh Public School District. They currently operate a school with a charter. That charter has been renewed once, I believe in 2020 by PPS. So they operate that in what used to be the North Catholic building. If you're looking for like a reference of where their current facility is, that is where it is currently located. So an application comes to your school board and they consider it. We had a hearing last year, which is on the initial application that was held over 2 nights in December and I believe January of last year. There is a point, and we are at the decision point tonight about whether or not your board wishes to grant the charter with the conditions that have been negotiated, which we'll review. What happens after that? What if the board says no? So I think that's a question a lot of people have. Well, the charter school, whether it's Providence or any other, has the right to appeal. And there is a streamlined process for them to do that in all likelihood, and very often they do so. Those appeals go to the Charter Appeal Board pretty quickly. 98% of charters are granted in the end by CAB. If it's not by the school district, it's granted by CAB or through litigation. If you look at CAB's website, and you'll kind of see the list of decisions. And again, it's because our obligation is to follow the law, and the law kind of has these criteria that are not incredibly high or detailed in terms of what we can consider. We'll note that Providence won its charter from PPS through a litigation process, and that was approximately 8 years ago. And so I will say to you as representation of the board and of the district that the likelihood of success on appeal on the part of the charter is incredibly high. And I don't say that with any particular joy. But when I sit with the board, I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to give them the law, and I'm also trying to help them understand the relative risk. And I've shared that with them. I think it's only fair that I share that with you as well. And litigation is costly. I tell clients often that only lawyers make out when people litigate. And that's because they get paid by the hour, right? I would rather see your money spent in a wise way to educate your kids. And I say that to the board. I say that to you as constituents of Ambridge Area School District. Ultimately, my opinion and what my recommendations are nothing more than recommendations. And it will be up to your elected board tonight to decide what to do with that. In terms of the timeline, I want to be clear that the application initially came in October of 2022, so over a year ago. Your board held 2 public hearings. Those were advertised actually in the newspaper, and they were consistent with the Sunshine Law. We created a record. And at the end of that, on the initial application, your board voted no to the application as it was presented on the basis that there was insufficient evidence. Fast forward now to October 25th of 2022. So much more recently in this past fall, we received an application for an amended application from Providence. That amended application addressed most, and I believe actually all of the deficiencies that were identified in our written denial of last year. On that basis, we were invited to, and we took the opportunity to have a conversation with Providence about a collaborative approach to our concerns. And there are numerous concerns that any public school has: the financial impact, the impact on the community, but then also what they have to offer to this community in terms of something novel and for education purposes. We met with, a subcommittee of the board was identified. We met in person numerous times with Provident. I negotiated and had further conversations with their attorney. What's being considered by the board tonight is the product of our best effort to come to an alternative other than a yes or no, and that is a collaborative resolution through a partnership agreement. And so you can see on the agenda tonight, there are 2 items. The first item is to allow Provident to amend their application. That amendment addresses very specifically their admissions criteria. Initially, when they applied for permission to have a charter, they asked for permission to admit any students without a particular diagnosis or restriction. Through this negotiation process, Provident was very clear that their target audience, their target student body are students with dyslexia, which is a very specific disability, students with dysgraphia, which is a subset of that, apraxia, and specific learning, a specific reading language disability. So the first item on the agenda tonight is to allow them to restrict their enrollment to that specific subset of students. That will apply to anyone who wants to go there. We believe that that's advantageous to the district and to the community because it is truly a specialized school and not one that is open to all students. The next item on the agenda is a partnership agreement. So the partnership agreement would be something that would be specific just to Ambridge and Ambridge students. Rather, we would have a collaborative approach with Provident. We would share relevant information when an application comes in from an Ambridge student who wishes to enroll. We have the rights to engage with them about the enrollment of the student. Most specifically, there are economic benefits that are built into this partnership. And you can see those represented here. Charter students automatically, typically, our reams are, your money goes to a charter school in a prescribed way. And it depends on whether they are special education students or whether they are general education students. Special education students typically, automatically, if they're identified, are reimbursed, are paid by the taxpayers of Ambridge at a rate of $33,000 per student to the charter school for the education of that student. The proposed partnership agreement would provide for a 52% discount on the rate that Ambridge paid for Ambridge students going to Providence for the first 20 kids. And so you can see in comparison, that is approximately $300,000 if 20 students go, compared to what we'll call the rack rate of if you didn't have a partnership agreement and you would pay for that same education $660,000. There are other elements right now of this partnership agreement. Those economics are probably the ones that the public are most interested in. We would also collaborate on grants if that was something that we had the power to do. We would allow a shared use of athletic facilities potentially. So all of those lines of communication and elements are kind of go into the partnership. The students would enroll as with any charter school with Provident. We would receive notice. We would verify that they're qualified, consistent with the enrollment policy. Students would need to be accepted based on their specialized admissions criteria. And again, if there was no partnership element to this, if we litigated solely, in the end, CAB would not recognize a partnership agreement. That litigation process would be a binary yes or no, the charter is granted or not granted, and you would proceed in paying kind of, again, those rates as determined by law. Another element just to highlight it, because I know not everyone has read the actual charter application. the charter applications for students in first grade through eighth grade, I believe. The idea with, and the program that Provident has is to intervene with these most affected students early on with their specialized rights with the curriculum. And then after eighth grade, should the student stay for that length of time, the students would come back to Ambridge or go back to their own school district for high school. So again, this program, unlike some other charters, is limited both in scope, it's limited in terms of the population that it addresses. And we believe, looking at their information, that they have been successful. We did receive a lot of testimony from families who currently have students enrolled in their program, as well as those who would be interested from this school district and others near it, that they would be very interested in. So again, the benefits, and this is not a sales job, but this is to like to kind of explain maybe why you would even have a consideration of this. We do believe, and there is encouragement in general for intergovernmental cooperation throughout all levels of government. And there is an encouragement and a realized benefit financially in terms of grants for entities, schools that cooperate with one another. We do believe that there might be opportunities to bring more money back and more curriculum and better benefits to the district by doing this in a collaborative way rather than a litigated way. We believe that this honestly is probably a path that we see happening more and more in public schools. And it is reflected in a lot of other states. This approach is the one that is most beneficial to both parties. We do believe that there can be some benefit in terms of shared services, programs, curriculum enhancements they have offered, and it's part of the partnership agreement should you wish to take it for them to train or train the trainers for other reading specialists and other reading teachers on their particular curriculum within Ambridge. And we do believe that this is a comprehensive learning experience that they're presenting that could have benefits to a very targeted population of Ambridge students. We believe that we serve those students well, but if parents wish to have an option, maybe the second best thing for those particular ones could be a place like Providence. That is what I have to present to you. No, thank you very much. We will now move to recognition and presentation.
I can't hear you.
We're moving to recognition and presentation for this evening before we move to public discussion. So that being said.
Okay, prior to my recognition tonight, I did request that we have a very short video. I like the board making time to do that way to see it. It is from CTC and you can look back and see, but we are a little bit late, but it's a parody of the 9 people in Christmas, but it focuses on our 17 programs at the COC.
Thank you.
Reasons of care plans, days in their hands. Mr. C is wood, humans in their caps, and just lit their torches to build on some scraps. When out on the lawn, Mr. O used the ladder to climb to the roof to see what was the matter. Framing a window, making sure it is flush. Measure it twice, we don't need to rush. Plants in the greenhouse growing with care, waiting for customers who will surely be there. As we anticipate the many puppies' arrivals, to work with the dogs and check all their vitals. With new student drivers who don't have a pass, expect those students to be late to class. From near and from far, the teachers they came to advise organizations they know they by name. Lots IQ, FFA, DECA, and AWS, FBLA, HOSA, and NPHS. We did not forget, we know there's two more, FCCLA and Skills USA, we cannot ignore. To the edge of the dock, explored wall to wall, the forklift was careful not to hit them all. As dry skin upon winter arrives, visiting clinic now for a quick moisturize. Electrical conduit bent for industrial use to protect the wiring from outside use. And then with some mortar, maybe some brick to construct a path below the most way. Drawing in sketchbooks and painting with air. Molding clay the figures of my teacher with no hair. Building a resume to be interview ready, to land a career and be financially steady. Designing new games and holiday wraps, or graphics do like to eliminate skill gaps. The parts how precise, how shiny, how clean, machine to perfection, even the Grinch would agree. From fender to bumper, the car was a mess, but no worries, these kids knew just what to assess. So many more staff are here for support, providing our districts with the proper reports. Please stop and see us when you are under stress. We'll give you tips to bring out your best. Bring on skilled trades, not the exam. No need to worry, no need to cram. With partners as employers and jobs to provide, our students will triumph when they have applied. With college, military, or unions to pursue, there are many opportunities for our CTC crew. Certifications are as many as stars in the sky, as long as you work hard and give them a try. The students turn wrenches, create, build walls, design, cut browse, and do computer installs. We love our students as they are the best. There are none greater. We are that impressed. With the skills they have learned, they will be all right. Thank you for listening to all the good I want. Have a very Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy New Year. Peace out.
Okay, so tonight we have recognition.
Yeah, she's here.
Okay, come on, I have to read this. Okay, Janice is a leader in health occupations at the Weaver County Career and Technology Center. She credits the solid relationships she's made in CTP, coupled with the ongoing support of her instructor, Nicole Todd, as a catalyst to give her the confidence and ability to compete. This year in Skills USA District 8 competition, Jen took first place with a perfect score in medical assisting. This is the first time in medical assisting competition that anyone has ever earned a perfect score. Most recently, Jen attended the Southwest Workforce Development Meeting along with her instructor and Dave Whitehead, director of the CTC, and spoke on recruiting students in the medical industry. Jen loves the health occupations program and what it offers as far as the curriculum and certifications, which helps set her up for her post-secondary aspirations and beyond, which include CCBC for nursing with an interest in the pediatric field. Jen is moving on to Skills USA state competition on April 10th through the 12th, and will also be competing in HOSA, which is the Health Occupation Students of America competition. So we would like to say congratulations and wish her luck as she continues on her upcoming competition.
Please say thank you.
Okay, so we had a, point of information. Okay, I just wanted to update everyone, on the meeting we had on February 3rd, at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center. We were notified that, Harrisburg was in the area. There was a possibility that they might come and visit in the afternoon. We found out about shortly after 9 o'clock in the morning, there were 5 minutes from the building. So, we hosted Dr. Beaver Tech, Director, Bureau of Career and Technical Education, Dr. Jeffrey Fuller, Acting Deputy Secretary, Office of Elementary and Secondary Education, and Dr. Terry Rowe, Director, Bureau of School Support from Harrisburg. Meeting went extremely well, and we discussed several topics and concerns regarding CTC education. We were pleased to learn that there might be some new grant opportunities coming up and some possible additional funding from the state for CTC. In addition to the meeting, they toured the building and had the opportunity to see the students in the classroom and talk to the instructors. They had nothing but positive comments and mentioned how impressed they were. Mr. Whitehead and myself are hopeful this visit will bring additional opportunities to all the students that attend Beaver County Career and Technology Center. And for those of you that don't know this, Beaver County Career and Technology Center was formed 47 years ago. It was a joint effort by the then 15 school districts of Beaver County to have them come to school there instead of everybody having an individual program. We have 17 programs at the CTC. And if anybody would ever like to come over and take a tour, we are open in state, and our students go to several competitions for the year, and we've had many scholarships. So that's my.
Thank you very much for providing that update. All right, moving on to student of the month.
Kind of help each other out. Students of the month for middle school in January. Sydney Cradaville, 6th grade, come on up. Congratulations to Sydney. In 7th grade, Drayden Pernicki. And in 8th grade, Jaheen Mitchell.
Congratulations.
Middle school January extra effort award winners, Dominic Vecchio, 6th grade. In 7th grade, Jersey Marmon.
Oh, great. All of you come back over here. We're gonna do a group picture. I'll probably get over to you.
And something else for you tomorrow too.
Sure. Moving on to Highland Elementary, January student of the month, Elliot Zabrowski in kindergarten.
Makes you rather go to bed.
All right, from 1st grade, Matthew Schmidt. From 2nd grade, Josiah Avia Badu. From 3rd grade, Noah Ross. From 4th grade, Timothy Bruno. And from 5th grade, Elena Palmer. Give those folks one more round of applause. Looking on the line in January extra effort award winners from kindergarten, Sarah Baltimore. From 1st grade, Serenity Lucas. From 2nd grade, Ozias Benzanel. Go ahead, Sarah. From third grade, Isabella Beagle. From fourth grade, Ava Shea. And from fifth grade, Jocelyn Hardy. Your parents want to come up and take a closer picture, they can. Sorry.
Great job.
Congratulations, everyone.
Okay, good evening. On behalf of Mrs. Flitzis, who could not be here, I wanted to bring up Mrs. Smith. Is she here?
Yes, you did.
All right. Read a couple things here. On behalf of the nominating committee, they indicate that she is driven, dependable, and has a positive attitude every day. She's a true asset to Autonomy Elementary. She works every day to give her pre-K students the best education. Her professionalism and innovative solutions provide a seamless transition of instruction between her and Ms. Hoot, the pre-K teacher, to their students as well. She takes the initiative in problem solving and collaborates well with the staff. On behalf of myself, Mrs. Flitzis, and the entire board, we'd like to congratulate you on this award. Congratulations.
For Employee of the Month of Highland Elementary, we have Miss Alexis Kogas. She can come on up. So her colleagues nominated her. Alexis is new to Highland this year. As soon as she joined our team, Alexis worked really hard to educate her students. She's an excellent team member who goes the extra mile to assist her colleagues. If they need anything, she's there to lend a hand. Her new partner in second grade, Miss Hall, couldn't say enough good things about her, and we just want to thank you for all you do.
State Street, Mr. Jared Pride, custodian of State Street, has been nominated for the Employee of the Month for January 2023. Unfortunately, Mr. Pride wasn't able to attend tonight due to a family situation, but I'd just like to read in regards to why he was nominated. Mr. Pride was hired as a substitute custodian in 2012 and was hired full-time in 2013. Mr. Pride found his home at State Street, where he takes pride in his work. The word pride is a noun, and its definition is a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievement. The achievements of those with whom one is closely associated, or from qualities or possessions that are widely admired. Mr. Pride takes pride in his work. He is a hard worker. He is always willing to help. If something needs done, he will state, "Don't worry, it'll be taken care of," and it actually is. Mr. Pride works well with all the students and staff of State Street. Mr. Pride likes State Street so much that his own child attends here. When Mr. Pride found out that he was nominated, he was concerned about how the custodial work would be done while he was here at the board meeting receiving this nomination. Mr. Pride is always willing to go the extra mile to keep State Street sparkling. State Street is very, very proud to have Mr. Jared Pride as part of our State Street family. So, just like to say thank you for this, and we'll be giving this to him either tomorrow or the next day. So thank you.
So for the middle school, our employee of the month is one of our reading teachers, Ms. Kara Lilly. Number one, she's amazing athletically. Their kids, some wonderful things around ELA, implementing a lot of stuff for our students. But on top of that, I had several nominations from several staff members for her student. I'm just going to read a quote from one of the staff. "I would like to recommend Kara Lilly for next teacher of the month. Twice last week, I noticed Kara go out of her way to help two high school students. Neither child was a student of facilities, but she saw they were struggling. Instead of walking past and turning the other way, she helped. We need more people like Kara. Thanks." So this is the reason why my facility is nominated. This is the reason why I thought that she's in the building. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. So much for this.
January, we recognized her last month she was here. So just so you know, that's why she's not being recognized tonight. She was recognized. Right, so. Oh, right here. Right here. I mean, all right. All right, that's fine. Thank you.
Congratulations, thank you for coming tonight. At this time, just residents may come forward to comment on agenda items only. Each person must state their first and last name and address prior to speaking. Each resident will be allowed only 3 minutes and speak only once. The period for public comment prior to the standing committee report will be limited to 1.5 hours. Although not required, board members desiring to address questions or concerns may do so after the president. Relative to your employees, under hold new business and. So you may wish to comment tonight on any agenda items.
Thank you. Need my name and address. I'd like to go on the very full set of time and the regret.
We can't hear you.
Also, I think it's on 9010. And it's number 9, so I understand that one. Number 10, I think you should go with vote because I don't think it's what benefit Amber City if you think it's going to start selling off your assets because they're holding you hostage. Then you must have supposed to school start over somewhere else. So I'm advised you guys to vote number 10. Thank you.
Thank you for playing a little bit more detail on the charts. And it sounds like to me that it's gonna happen regardless of any what's like it or not. And we're gonna just try to get feedback that we can from it, since we can do that in the cabin. So I just want to know how long the partnership agreement is for. How many years?
So the partnership is for 5 years, which tracks the proposed charter. And it would also extend any renewal should there be ever a charter. So the partnership would continue, unless Ambridge chose at some point to discontinue the partnership agreement.
But we have to still keep that partnership for 5 years.
You would not, there's an annual opportunity to.
So then after, so if they start next year and that 15,000 per student for that year. Now, right now, we have 331 students. If you go into this thing. So that could go 10 years to get them. We'll probably get probably 8 students per year, right? So we're gonna give out our students for 15,000, which is a deal. But after next year, do we have anything, another kickback from that after that last year?
There's a different tier, for 21 and more.
So they would have to have 20 more students before we have to.
And the charter, as the application, it's the grades are phased in. So I believe year 1, they would only accept enrollment in first grade, fourth grade. And then as years go on, they would add they could add additional grades. So to start with, it would only be first grade or fourth grade.
Sorry, just to clarify real quick, I think, I'm not sure if maybe I answered your question, but no, we're trying. Okay. If, for the first 20 students, that 15,000, that's for each year. That's for each year, not just the first year that they're, but that's, yeah, it's just incrementally, it's a percentage based formula, so based on the funding formula for the state. So we don't get anything under point. Yeah. From 1 through 20, it's 52% of reduction. And then for 21 and over, it's a different percentage. About 30% reduction. And then, what happens if Providence doesn't get the enrollment they hope for and they no longer hold the contract with the state? You're not from it. I didn't know if there was any exception we can bring.
It's not.
Thank you. Is that something that would have to be like, my child had a, it's like their life, they're not being recommendation to go to that school? I can't do it like that.
Basically, so it's very specialized instruction that they offer, for different disorders and things, psychiatry, those items, yes, are listed. It would be a series of testing, and then at that point, the district would encourage and help set everything up.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
To the audience in the back of that everyone speak into the mic as well as me to ask the board to say.
George Charlton, 1060 Gold Street, APA, and please note, and you know this respect, I would like to. Madam President, you are personally invested in the PHRs. You work for them, you get paid by them. I believe that this is a conflict of interest for you. How can you make an important decision on the charter school partnership when you are paid by PA charter school partners? According to the Providence website, they are an approved PA charter school. Why do you pull your own kids out of the charter school? Because they don't get, as far as I'm concerned, they're not known for the rigorous curriculum like the Ambridge Area School District did. You certainly are going to sell perhaps, but you both, yes. Okay, being a conflict of interest, I feel we should be negotiating for our district to partner with Providence or any other school charter for that matter. I'm saying school charter because it's your home. That's been interesting. And I'm asking that you not be a part of this vote tonight, that you abstain from voting because of that conflict. And you did tell us earlier on the record, it says nothing to do with State Street, right? Because the writing's on the wall, you can check our home.
So I'll address a little bit. I have no affiliation with Providence whatsoever, so that's
It's a
never mind.
charter school.
I'm sorry, you don't have, you can ask more questions. No, I just want to make sure.
No, charter schools. I researched every single one you members on, excellent researcher, and I know your depth in history of charts. So I believe that your personal agenda here, I think you should have stayed voted.
I have absolutely no personal agenda with Providence Charter School. So that was the first one. And then the second one about State Street Elementary, the writing is absolutely not on the wall. In fact, to be perfectly honest, right now with the potential amended application, there will be less students that will leave our district to go to this charter school or any charter school, this one in particular, because of the application process. And what all the factors are, because those are the students that need that remediation content. Those not open to enrollment where anybody can enroll as every other charter school in the area. So, just so that you're aware, it doesn't.
Okay, because you guys are real figures about transparency, this is news to me, you could say one day, and then we'll vote tonight, but, I mean, really? We're just playing the same scenario as we did last time.
So this has been an ongoing matter. I noted in a public meeting, probably in November, that the application has been received. And I want to be clear that there is no legal prohibition or conflict of interest under the Ethics Act that would prevent President Ramasco or any other member of this board from voting. We thank you for your comments, and they'll take those under advisement.
Well, I hope so, because you know what, I have a grandson in third grade, who's in special ed. He just went to State Street 6 months ago. He could not read even a sight word. This kid is reading from first grade and doing excellent. We have excellent teachers. In every school district, we don't need a charge. Nobody wants one.
Hey, everyone, Denise Manganello, 998 Collins Avenue. I agree, nobody wants charters, but that's the problem with our state law. So first, before you go after the volunteers, it might go more to the state officials who created school choice, not these people.
Yeah,
As a person that did their whole dissertation on charter school, I applaud. I appreciate that you're being proactive, that you're going for the right things. You can't fight it. It's 98.99, almost 99% chance that every half thing will be turned around. So by being proactive, saving seed, going out of reduced price on kids that would go there anyhow. I applaud that. I appreciate that you value our schools, that you're trying to save all of our buildings and keep our kids here, because if not, our school will be shut. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Fabiola Gergers, 2623 Glenwood Road, Harmony Township. Unlike some of the people who spoke tonight, I was at the public hearing. I am in support of the charter school. Unlike some of you, thinking you don't have a child who's just 5'6", so you don't have an understanding. As someone who had to learn how to speak English when she went to school, who was separated from her classmate to make it seem like she's different than everyone else. Again, folks don't have an understanding of what it's like when someone has a disability or is different from another child. If you folks are really concerned, you should have put it at the public hearing, especially concern. But as a solicitor explained to you, the charter school will happen, and we have to go to litigation. I will both be upset. I do not want my tax money being spent on something we're going to get. And as Denise had said, yes, the board members are being proactive. Thank goodness that we're going to spend our money. But the point is, it only goes up to 8th grade. Some of these children may even by 4th grade be able to read on their own and return back to Ambridge. But try to look at the bigger picture. Don't always look at Ambridge. Look at Beaver County. What do we as Ambridge School District want to represent to the rest of the counties surrounding us? Think of the families from Butler and Allegheny County who may come and what kind of profits we might bring into this county and especially into our district. Stop looking at the smaller picture, but look at a bigger picture. So I really hope that you guys vote, whether it's with a partnership, not a partnership, but I really am in support of charter school. There are some of us who do support charters.
Good evening, everybody. I truly appreciate each and every one of you and the service that you give to our district and the sacrifice that comes along with that. I've said that before and then I truly mean that. Thank you. I believe that being part of the board means that we and you hold a higher duty to protect and to protect our district and have the best interest of our district in mind. With that being said, obviously, I think agenda numbers 9 and 10 raised a couple of concerns today, and I don't want to come at you with pitchforks or fire. I don't want this to be a dumpster fire. There's no need for that. I just think, in the sake of humanity, we can all be civil and speak to each other as human beings. I know for myself, I am not an educator. I can dance with finance, but I'm not an educator. So what I came tonight is to seek, Dr. Pasquarella, I apologize for putting you in the hot seat, but, I'm interested to see what you think of agenda items 9 and 10, and what your opinion is of them. And also, I just from the very limited knowledge that I have of this is I just think 2 brick and mortar charter schools in our district is a little bit excessive. As a parent, I can just rattle off 7 different options of where to send my kid: homeschool, public school, Christian school, Catholic school, online charter school, Baden Academy, now possibly what it sounds like Providence charter school. I just think it's a little bit excessive and overwhelming as a parent. Albeit legality is legality. I understand dollars and cents. Unfortunately, I think the society has ported us into where we can't be 100% student focused. We now assign dollars and cents to our children, and I think that is sad and very unfortunate. But that's the world we live in. Facts are facts. So I've come to you tonight to just seek the facts, and I did a little bit of research. 10 short years ago, Baden Academy opened their doors, and I don't think any of us in this room would have expected that they'd thrive as much as they are thriving, and good for them. But when we speak in terms of dollars and cents, that's 260 students that could be coming to Ambridge that go to Baden Academy. And that translates to a range of approximately $5.9 million to $8.5 million. That's staggering. And based on the budget that you all presented just a few short months ago, I don't know if we can afford to lose any more students to another charter school. And I think that is my concern if we're looking at a district-wide perspective. So I thank you for considering the partnership agreement, for doing what you can to lessen the impact to the district. I thank you for doing that due diligence. Our trust ultimately is in your hands to put the district first, to put our kids first, above the dollars and cents. What is best for Ambridge Area School District? Because I believe we are all here because we're all Bridgers. We all love our district. And if you do a simple Google search, it's very clear that charter schools are dismantling public school districts across the board, across Pennsylvania, across the country. I'm not against charter schools. I will make that clear to everybody in this room. I'm not against charter schools. And nobody in this room knows whose child has a disability. So, Dr. Pasquarella, with that being said, I would like to give you the floor. I'm very interested in your thoughts as an educator, as a superintendent of our district, and with your expertise in education, what your thoughts are on this whole discussion. Thank you.
By the way, I have actually hit my.
Well, how should we do it? It's a fan. You say anything? Five for their weeks, not happening. Thank you. So Councilor Ella was going to address all of it, like when we have the board discussion, but I mean, are we?
I'm gonna stand up also. Well, I appreciate you asking. Now, before I start, I think it's important that what I want to start by saying is that I respect and understand the difficult decisions for everyone up here. And I'm going to share a little bit about my background, a little bit about what I've learned, a little bit about who I am, a little bit about what I saw because I was in this school system the first time it opened, Baden Academy, and I'll tell you. But before I say that, I'm not taking shots at anybody, including the board or anyone else with their opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion and should be able to share that. So when I say these things, they're not shots, they're just what I believe in from my heart. So everyone can have their opinion. That being said, a little background on me for some of you that may or may not know this. I've been in education for over 20 years. I was a teacher in public school, was the principal for a little bit, curriculum director here, and assistant to the superintendent in Ambridge. Been a superintendent in public schools and came back to Ambridge because I love Ambridge. Always have and always will. That being said, I come from a family of educators. My parents, my mother was a third grade teacher and a public school learning support teacher. Principal went back to third grade. My father, he coached sports. He was a guidance counselor for majority of his career, and he taught social studies too. My sister, she now works with behavioral shaping for something similar over in Ohio. That would be like to Watson, but she taught in public school for a good portion of years too. My brother, well, he's in sales. Can't explain him, but that's for another day. That being said, this is our family business. This is what I believe in. When I was in high school, they had Future Teachers of America. That's what I wanted to be. Okay? This is everything that I believe in. And I believe in the public schools. So I'm not sitting here trying to explain that if somebody's child had difficulty in reading, that you can't learn from another person or that you can't hear their difficulties and work. But what I am saying is I'm very proud of the public school systems, all of them. And I'm proud of the Ambridge School District, very proud. I'm proud of all the educators, which includes the employees from administration, the teachers, the parents, the nurses, the custodians who all care for these kids. Now, I'm sorry that they didn't get to hear that because they left, and I understand they gotta get ready for school, and I get that, so we start early. But aren't you proud of everything that we hear every month that they do? I am. Is everyone perfect? Maybe not, including myself, every kid, every teacher, every person. Maybe not everyone's perfect. I understand that, but I believe in public education. And although some people say there's nothing you can do, and this is an agreement that you have to take because it minimizes the damage, I can respect somewhat what they're saying, but I can never get behind it. I think you're selling out what we all believe in. And as far as the dollars and cents, I say that there might be somebody out there more fiscally responsible, but I haven't met too many more than I am, to be honest. So I get the tough decision that this board's facing. Little story about Baden Academy, where I'm at with it. I don't care if they do hear about charter schools. I've sung it from one side to the other for 10 years. Sometimes it's a little bit lonely. So what I am going to share is a little bit of an example of the experience that I had, because I was the one that fought the charter school the first time. And when I was here, they were saying that it was going to be new and innovative, that it was going to be a musical school. And I'm sitting and saying, have you ever been to an Ambridge musical? Have you heard our steel band? Have you seen what we've done? Because I don't think that's new and innovative. You go on a site visit when I went there, and I'm not being mean-spirited. I'm just saying that our facilities are 10 times as nice. They still are. So why do we need to do that? Why are we doing that? Now, that time, people travel down there, and we travel down in a car, me, myself, and a couple other administrators. Stopped at the truck stop to get gas. They were riding down in a limousine. people that own a limousine, party bus like you use on weddings. Matching shirts, talking about all the appetizers they had on there. So I don't care, I'll say it right into the video. That's what happened. Those same founders that were using a curriculum company, okay? Their curriculum company that they utilize did not outscore any of our district bills, not one. And they continue to struggle. They offered iPads and other things like less accountability, which is that really what's always best for kids? Ask yourself, and I don't know, maybe you think it is. Time passes, maybe it is. But is it necessarily what's best? To just allow people to do what they want? Is that what's best for kids? Sometimes it is tough. Sometimes it's tough to ask kids to do difficult things, follow rules. But if you care about them, like the staff that I see in this school system and the parents that I see, it's gonna make a difference, as it did for me in public education. So I believe in public education, and I'll never say that we should open a charter school. I understand why some people are thinking about it, because the dollars and cents seems like, to quote the one person that spoke, well, it's the politicians above these folks that aren't doing it. And maybe that's the case. So let me go back to the story, because if they do vote no, we're gonna need everyone's help who's on our side. Because when I went down there that day, and I'm not talking political, because I'm not a really political guy. I'm not on either side. You can research me up and down. I'm my own man. I looked at the mayor and I answered to him. But this is what I'll tell you. And that given day, that there was the governor that was in power was on one party line. And how it works is they appoint people and approve them. And what happened was there's more than 5 total seats on the board, but they can never agree to fill more than 5 seats on this board. So what they did, which is generally fair, they put 2 that are pro-charter on the board. They put 2 that are pro-education, public education, traditional on the board. And then the governor appoints the secretary of education, and that's basically the swing vote. Okay, so I'm not talking politics to you. I'm not trying to influence what you want to do. I'm just giving you the facts. When we went down there that day, they told me I had 11 and a half minutes to say my case. 11 and a half minutes. I don't know how you come up with 11 and a half, but that's what they told me they had. And they had a time. So I had the best PowerPoint with videos showing everything that we could do and everything that our kids were doing. It didn't matter. They could have been sleeping. The votes were done. They had the votes. Swing votes were going to that line. And I'm not talking politics. That's just the way it was. Now, to the point of everything being 98% pass rate, she's probably right. And maybe I haven't been paying attention myself as much as I should. Standing up here today saying we need to advocate, but how many of us are advocating? Right now, when I looked at the board, and I don't know them by name, I don't have it written down, but I did. 2 of them, one's a public school teacher, one's a public school board member, and there's 2 charters. After the new one, the swing vote, you can do the math, should go in a different direction. Will it or not, I can't. But if they do vote, I guess it would be not to approve the amendment, then we're gonna need to work together. We're gonna need everybody that supports the good things that are going on, that say we do help kids with reading. That being said, I did have one opportunity and to hear and listen to some of the folks that discussed the charter and what they do. And they should be proud of the work that they do in and around reading. But I'm equally as proud, more proud of the work that we do in our reading classes and our special groups for our kids. I don't think that there's any reason why people can't all work together and learn from each other. But I don't think there's a need for this type of school. Last thing I'm gonna say, because it's bothering me. Lately, there's been a quality education committee that was started that is turning into what is called Flourish. Some of you may have had the opportunity as parents to join that survey, or you were invited to it from the county. One thing they're really talking about is, when you look at all of these districts, how do we really share services to do things the right way? Instead of everyone doing it themselves. Well, I do think they have some points to that, but I also think there's a point about being a bridger, right? And I bet somewhere down the road, people are really proud to be a Quip. And so on, you know, a Bobcat and so on. And they're proud of that. And they don't want to all combine. Good for the people who do want to combine, and excellent if that's something that they want to do. But if not, Flourish Beaver County is talking about how we could all share services. Well, why aren't we talking? Because I would be willing to bet if you got all the best reading teachers, including the ones from Ambridge who are excellent, special ed teachers, along with everyone in the county, why wouldn't we all be able to share good strategies? Right. So that's my belief. And I'll stand behind public education, and I understand the dollars and cents, and I respect why people are having to make the decision they are. But I'm proud of Bridgers. Everyone can always improve. If you don't grow, you don't improve, what are you doing? We were up here not long ago and we showed growth. And we still have more to grow? Yeah, but every building showed growth. Every building's SPP went up. And that was post-COVID scores to the present after COVID. And every building's scores went up. That's difficult. And that's credit to the parents that are out here too, because some of that fell on all of you to try to become teachers during a year where there was a pandemic or two. And that isn't easy. So you should be proud of yourselves. The events that we have in our schools, they're amazing. If you go to them and you see the talent of our kids, I'm proud, and I'm sure all of you are too. So that's where I stand on it. And for those reasons, whether you approve the amended application, I understand how that might be submitted and that might have some effect. But to approve an amendment and to approve the charter school, I stand behind what I said, and I would recommend that you don't, even though I understand and respect there's a cost that is more expensive. That's my opinion. I appreciate you asking for it. And I appreciate your support of the Ambridge Area School District. Thank you.
This evening.
Hi, my name's Brittany Nysong. I live at 393 Daly Avenue, Dayton. Firstly, I want to thank Dr. Pascarella for being completely honest with his thoughts to the public. And I guess basically what we are asking for as community members and district parents are that we feel this is a little bit rushed. We feel that you should put a little bit more thought into this before voting tonight, and that we should think of Ambridge School District and just pass on, not vote tonight for this. It's a lot, it's a big commitment, it's a big decision to make. And we're asking that the board just reconsiders and that you vote no tonight for both of items number 9 and 10. And I also had a couple questions. If we would work together with Provident, would this take resources from our building over to Provident that we currently have?
Such as.
Just different resources, like you said, we've shared like gyms, different things like that. I mean, even like the reading programs, things like that. And is there a cap as to how many students they can take that have maybe a reading problem or dyslexia?
Yeah, the application spelled out the maximum number of students and that, so that is part of the application.
Okay, so it does have this, you said there is a cap? What is the cap? Do you know?
I don't recall that.
So it's, okay, so there's more than 20 students can be taken from the district with readings. And I just wanted to bring up that Ambridge School District, we do have the Wilson Reading System. It's used in the Ambridge Area School District as a foundational reading program. And Ambridge Area School District also utilizes the Sunday system in Orton Gillingham Reading Interventions. They're all multi-sensory programs. So I just wanted to bring that up, that we do have a lot of resources in our district for reading. And once again, I just wanted to come up and just ask those couple questions, bring up our current reading programs that we have, and just to ask the board to reconsider their vote for tonight. Thank you.
Part of the committee that negotiated some of this. And first of all, we can't table this if we want to do the partnership. We've been provided a deadline, and the deadline is February 15th. we don't vote tonight, the partnership deal goes away. So let's just say that first. And then the appeal clock starts. So we want to table it, let's do it, but then we get nothing.
So did they only give you 5 days to approve it? But it said it was.
We've been talking to them for several months and had several meetings. They're confidential, they're attorney-client privilege meetings. We can't come out here and say, hey, here's what we've done. It's not how it goes.
So the charter school.
This is not a conversation that's been done in the last 5 days. We've had months.
That charter school law that we referenced before, it provides for 45 days from the date of reapplication. So if we go back to October 25th, we would have originally had only 45 days to make a decision about the resubmitted application. Provident, because we were negotiating or at least having conversations, they extended those timelines. And so those timelines have been extended by consent of the parties up till now. But we have definitely gone beyond 45 days that the law otherwise would provide us.
Can I ask a question? What did we pay, and I don't need pennies, what did we pay, Payment Academy yearly? And 4.1 million. 4.1 million. Yes, okay, 4.1 million, so, we fought that, right? Did we fight that? Okay. We fought that, we lost, and now we pay them $4 million a year at $33,000 a year. Is that? Yeah, you know, they have regular things too, so. I think everybody is very passionate about this, and I don't think anything that happens tonight is a reflection on what anybody thinks about this district. I think all of us up here, regardless of what we vote, we're all here donating our time instead of being with our families because we feel strongly about Ambridge School District. And many of you voted for me to not continue to do status quo. And if you didn't vote for me, that's okay too. You had to know the status quo wasn't going to be raising my hand, right? So I would ask us to ask ourselves, if we don't do this, and we lose at the percentage rate that we're being told that we're going to lose, right? 98%. Our lawyer who's going to litigate it is telling us that we have a 98% chance to lose. What do you think about it, Chad? I never saw a coach that told me they have 98% chance to lose, go out and win a ball game. And that's not disrespect.
No.
I'm just saying. We have a serious chance to take what could be negative and has been negative, and you've all lived with it longer than I have, because you've been here longer. I've only been here for almost 10 years now. But it's a negative relationship right now that we pay a lot of money for in Payment Academy. And I believe we have the opportunity to have a partnership that is positive and save us a whole lot. Think of the money over the past 10 years you would have saved, and you had a 52% discount on the first 20 kids and a 30% discount on every recurrent kid?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, a lot of budget meetings that we've had, we might not have had, right? State Street was tabled a couple of years ago. I don't know where that came from either. But you had another $4 million in the hopper for 1.2 million. Right? You're not cutting buildings. So it's a passionate subject. And we are not going to all walk out here in agreement. We can all agree on that, right? But everybody needs to know that everybody who votes, no matter how they vote up here, we're doing it because we believe we're doing the right thing. And I hope you understand. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Real quick, so from an athletic standpoint, shared facilities, is there any restrictions on that? Are they allowed to have their own sports team? Or going up to 8th grade, would they be able to, what does that look like? And if there are students go there, they still be able to play for 8th grade? And what does all that look like?
they can play for Ambridge as long as they do not have a split team. That's for example, if they had a basketball team, they would be able to play for our basketball. But they didn't have the course they did. If they're a member of our district, they're not a member of another, district, they can play for that.
So was that part of the discussion at all? It's good.
That's great.
Okay, oh, that's from my understanding, okay.
And in terms of facilities, the understanding is that only to the extent it doesn't adversely affect our students or their students. I mean, if you were talking about a big baseball field, a big baseball field, the shared partnership in terms of facilities is only to the extent that it's not, it wouldn't be a detriment to your own students.
Yes, thank you.
I do have just and I apologize for putting Phil Belsky on the spot. If you wouldn't mind answering a couple questions before we get up and make a decision thing. I can give you my opinion on being in this district for all these years and what struggles I have seen from others and from my own opinion. But I'd like to know your opinion. If you feel the district and our employees, and I strongly feel, I'll just say that first, our employees are capable.
Capable of doing things.
Yes, that was my question. Or something similar. Is the district capable of educating our students comparable to what Providence Charter is offering?
Yes, so I can answer that question. So since I've been here, we've brought in a number of different reading interventions we've had. But we brought in Reading Discovery, which is a multi-sensory reading program. We have that for all of our students with disabilities. We also have that for students who struggle with reading. All of our teachers have had extensive training and they're implementing and we're seeing our kids grow tremendously. We also have Sunday, we have Wilson Foundation State 2. We have a number on maybe somebody correct reading.
Reading Horizon.
Reading Horizon.
Haggerty.
So we have a number of, that I'm for you, that's okay.
I have told.
So we have a number of interventions that we are implementing and are seeing tremendous work with our students. Our staff are trained. We just put our staff to the work at Bellingham, and we're continuing to increase staff that are trained in that.
Yeah, I just glad that's. Apologize for putting her on the spot.
No, that's okay.
Dr. Filipowski, I have actually an excellent quality to hear this. I have a fellow that graduated last year, struggled with probably 3 grade levels behind in reading for quite a bit of time. And since Dr. Filipowski came here and since he came to high school, wonderful progress that he made. He's doing excellent. So trust me when I tell you this decision is not easy. I also strongly believe in our educators and our administrators and everything they do for our students. I have 3 other kids that are younger that are doing great here. It's a tough decision, but I just didn't want that to go unnoticed that I believe in what you guys are doing as well. It's more about what we can do to save the entire system. Sorry.
Okay, I'm Melissa Foley, 3711 Watson Street. I just wanted to make sure everybody is aware of all the ins and outs of this. All of you board members have all been thoroughly schooled on what's going to happen and the ins and outs of it, like the sports education. I mean,
Yeah, well, I mean,
and all those little.
yeah, speaking for myself,
The thing, I should make sure you're all aware of this, right? You are all there for everything. That's all I want to make sure.
And we want, not everybody.
So there's just a small
yeah.
few of you.
We have been briefed, but we weren't through all the.
Last two.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need. Thank you. Sure. I mean, the board has been advised about both the process, the contours, the legal risks, for over a year. The specific partnership agreement was finalized early last however, like all the rest of it, had and presented to the board and given to them in its entirety, as quickly as we possibly could. The board has been advised in numerous executive sessions about the progress, about the components that we were discussing. And so the finality of the arrangement, for confidentiality purposes, kind of fell to last week, but the board has been, to the best of our ability, advised in its entirety, as much as we could and pretty thoroughly.
Just so you're aware too, there's no more than 4 of us that are allowed to be on any type of committee like this, and speak together and legally speaking. So that is why there has to be committees
Without it being a subject law violation.
We were not, although to be clear, I mean, we were updated last Tuesday, but I didn't know there were several meetings that this committee was taking, but
And we had addressed that the week prior to that, at the meeting discussed, in an executive session, the number and the contours of our negotiations. And I don't believe that there has been anything but transparency looking here.
Hi, I'm Olivia Moore, 730 Anthony Wayne Drive in Harmony Township. I came in a little late, I missed some, and I couldn't pack party here in the back. Did this include pre-K and kindergarten, or is this for the basics? Just want to reiterate that for some of us in the back who have missed that. Thanks.
So their charter for right now is for 1 through 4, and then the grade levels are added incrementally, and I don't have it right in front of me to speak exactly to which grade level and in which year. But after, I think by year 5, it would go to grade 8. There is something in the partnership where they have offered to provide pre-K services to the district, if that's something we are interested in taking advantage of. It's nothing that they would provide their school, it would just be some sort of training or service that they're providing here. But the lowest grade level, I think, right.
It's either person or kindergarten. I apologize, I don't have that application from me, and don't need to give me.
The next year will be grade 1.
Christina Briola, Ridge Road, Harmony Township, I'm also a teacher at the high school. And this probably is just going to be directed to Megan. Sorry. Charter school law has not changed at all since its inception, correct?
Correct.
Correct. And in that time of charter school law, and I am not a fan of charter schools, and those of you that know my background would find that surprising, but it's not. Charter school law, with the law, the way the law is written, and the fact that the legislature has not done anything to correct any of the errors that have been found over the years in charter school law, including the criminality that's happened. The chances of this going through, no matter what we do, is going to cost the district a lot of money, correct? Correct. And the fight against Baden Academy cost us a lot of money. I was here, I've been in the district a long time. So that was a lot of money, correct?
Correct.
I guess my only point is that if we want to change charter school law, the only way to do that is through the legislature, because it's a law that has to be changed, that has to be voted on by the legislature.
I think that and the funding formula that's associated with it are the two places of immediate advocacy that warrant a lot of energy.
Has this board advocated for charter school reform? Just out of curiosity.
I have, I would think that.
And he's my neighbor, it's awesome.
Yeah. And, okay, I know where Rob sits, but I'm talking at the greater level, like as the board appealing to the education board, the committee, the in-house committee of either house, sorry, I'm gonna just say this, But how, like, going to, because if it doesn't come out of committee, it's not getting voted on. Have done that.
I personally sent emails and like messages for those committee members.
Yeah, it's,
And immediate crickets back,
correct.
so.
I will tell you the PA cyber teachers who are, one unit is currently bargaining and I picketed with them on Monday night. And they're currently bargaining a very contentious contract with their special ed teachers. They have lobbied, they have gone, they have testified. And we have not had a change in charter school law. You know, if you knew that or not, but I throw that. I'm just curious as to where we stand on this, where we are with money, because I do pay taxes. Thanks.
Real quick, before you step away, Mrs. Riola, there is a possibility that students at Bain Academy currently, that would qualify, that would test, that need these specialized services could go from Bain Academy into Provident because they need specialized services that they are offering. So is it ideal? No.
But that would be a reduction, that would be a reduction in our tax.
That is correct. And then more money goes back into our pot. Yes.
Okay, thanks.
I have a couple comments I'd like to make. First of all, cyber and charter schools are privately owned, public schools or profit. That's exactly what they are. It's all about the numbers. I did ask after we had that presentation in the fall. I wanted to know how many students in the Amherst district currently went to Provident Charter School in Pittsburgh, because during the presentation, it was alluded to that we had students going there, and the number was 0 when I checked into that. There was some discussion about the program that the district uses, which is the Courtney Gillian program, and they use the Wilson program, and if you go on a couple websites and look, they have each one versus the other. They're very similar. In this partnership, it states in there that Provident will essentially teach the Amherst district teachers this program. That part of it does not make sense.
If we choose,
Okay.
and that's up to the administration to choose to have the education brought into the district. So let's make that.
Yeah, that's a good.
I'm just letting you know.
Okay, so in the original charter, they did not have first grade there. I did make some notes from before, but first grade is in there now. And that cap on that number for first grade through 4th grade is 132 students, just so everybody knows that. I know in the original presentation, one of my comments that evening, actually to one of the charter school people was, you know, there's a lot of empty buildings in Beaver County. Why did they choose Cambridge? Because I know I was looking for a building, I would have picked one on the other side of the county, so I had a vast resource of schools, and I could probably even hop across the Ohio border, and get some of their kids. The other thing I have some concern about, in this proposal, it talks about the early intervention program. The parties agree that a future project to explore is an early intervention program available to Amherst resident students in pre-K and first grade in order to remediate reading and language-based learning deficiencies. We have a pre-K program here. We got a grant for that. We have several classrooms throughout the district. We get nothing but laudatory reports every year when they come in and audit us. I think a 3-year or 4-year-old, or even a first grader who really hasn't learned to read yet doesn't necessarily fall into that category, but that's exactly what's going to happen here according to their paper. And I think at some point, I think every kid struggles with reading a little bit. It's something new. Reading is hard. I mean, let's face it. But and I will tell you, I was here the first time with Dr. Pascarella when Bain Academy came in. And exactly the way he explained it is exactly what happened. I'm a proponent of public education. And I get to a certain degree that some board members are thinking about this. But at the end of that 5-year period, Their number is 348. So the other thing that's concerning to me, in here it says, Ambridge will verify and expedite the enrollment of Ambridge students who apply for enrollment there. Then another section also says that Provident agrees in the event it receives inquiries directly from Ambridge president, it will initially make the district aware and give the district the opportunity to work with that student's family to get them. That's concern. This number is concerned. We cannot afford to lose any more students here. And, you know, through the years I've sat here, I've had countless parents get up and say, what wonderful things happen to their kids here in this district. And I think it's kind of a slap in the face to our staff that you're essentially looking at them and saying, well, you know what, you may be a good teacher, but you're not good enough because these kids are going to go somewhere else. But I think we do have really good teachers here, and I think they can teach the kids.
Can we just make this the board discussion in regards to this, because there's a lot that's unpacked, I need to unpack that, or should we just move forward and as long as no one else has to speak?
We've reached our 30-minute by
Good.
far, so yeah. I have a question, would anyone on the board want to hear from Paul, and they are?
Yes.
When do you want to do that?
So we want to hear from them now before we vote? They, yeah, you can take their own meeting. Right here.
You guys know the proficiency rate of Providence, how they educate? If you look on the internet, it'll tell you that they're 22% in reading proficiency, 22% in the whole school. Is that what that's what you guys are?
Is that
you know,
enough?
think to go
Can you
do?
come to the mic as we invited you? Thank you.
I'm Alan Sharper. I've met, probably have seen all of you from last year, here. The public hearing, I don't have any prepared remarks. I mean, really, the only thing that I would like to say on behalf of Providence at this time is that, understanding this is a difficult decision, but I do want to thank Board, Dr. Pasquarello, community, because I feel as though Providence has been treated with respect, and I think we have, been respectful of the district, understanding, that there's some give and take here, and that I do believe that we demonstrated, as the solicitor mentioned, we had public hearings that Providence does have a quality program. And there are students that need Providence services. As was mentioned earlier, when we first came, we proposed that the school would be open to everybody. But after discussions, it's truly our mission. I mean, excuse me, when we first went to Pittsburgh, that's what we proposed. Pittsburgh objected to that. They didn't want us to be selected, so we said, fine. We went on into litigation, and the court said that what we would propose to this was okay. Here, we want to serve the students based upon the admission policy. That's what we want to do. And we're not a for-profit entity. I want to make sure I say that. That's not okay. It's a non-profit corporation, not a for-profit enterprise. We're not going to be a for-profit enterprise. That's the truth. So I just want to thank everybody for your consideration. I know this is a difficult decision. I think I told you when I was here last year about this time, it wasn't 65 degrees, that I myself was a North Allegheny School Board member for a long time. And I understand all sides of the issues. But I do believe that Providence and the district will be good partners if we do this. And I believe that over time, that will happen. I would say Pittsburgh again, it's part of the fight to get the school open. The school was renewed by unanimous vote. But after the first term that we're operating, we have a certainly a workable relationship with the district. It's not at odds with that. So I want to thank you.
Thank you.
Let's look at the research on this one.
I'm
Sorry, we're beyond, but thank you for your.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move into committee reports. Under education and technology, Ms. Mr. Zachary.
Agenda kind of got expanded from our meeting 2 weeks ago. There are a few items that were required to read. So I'll make a motion for some of these. And with, I think it's pretty obvious, numbers 9 and 10, we'll do a separate votes of discussion. If anybody else has some objections to it. Please, numbers 1 and 2, we did read the last time for student disciplines. Number 3 is new, recommended to ratify a discipline agreement for students listed relevant to a middle school student effective February 15, 2023. Number 4 is also new to this week. It's recommended to approve a special education settlement involving student number listed. 5 and 6 were on the last meeting. Number 7 is new. It's recommended to approve an agreement between Amherst Area School District and Evans mental health provider, the 22-23 school year. This is pending in the administrators and the solicitor. Number 8 is new. Recommended to approve the formation of a book club at high school with a sponsor to be paid a stipend of $470. Club is student funded, excluding the payment for the sponsor. And number 11 is also new. It's recommended Joanne Hoover, principal of State Street, be approved to attend the 2023 annual pre-K counts Head Start with Union Kalahari Resort Convention as a public SBA. This is from March 8th through March 9 of 23. All expenses, registration, fees, lodging, travel and meals will be paid as per board policy 331, job related expenses. Approximate cost will be $1,000. Number 9. I'm sorry. Yeah, so items 1 through 8 and also number 11, I move to approve these numbers.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion? Seeing none, can I have a roll call, please? Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. Fusco? Yes. Mr. Seaver?
Yes.
Tito? Yes. Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Jackie? Mr. Monaco? Yes. Motion carried. Thank you.
Number 9, as mentioned, is also new. Recommended to approve the Westlake Charter School application commencement consistent with Providence Charter School letter dated February 10, 23. So board discussion on this. Megan, you can verify this is just the amendment of the application to
So the amendment is to amend the admission policy, Providence proposed, charter, and that would limit enrollment to, specified students with dyslexia and other related disabilities as enumerated in that admissions policy, and also focus on students grade 1 or for initial enrollment.
motion. Approved.
Okay. Wait a second.
Second.
Any more discussion? And roll call, please. Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Ms. Fusco? Yes. Mr. Seaver?
Yes.
Tito? Yes. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Zachary?
Yes.
Mr. Monaco? Yes. Motion carried. Thank you.
Finally, number 10 is recommended to approve the resubmitted application for the Charter School West as amended in 99 and to grant the related charter contingent upon concurrent approval of the partnership agreement as presented. Is there any further discussion? Yes, motion.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Any more discussion?
I do just have one point of interest I want to share before we go. I served previously on the Quality Education Committee, which is now the Forest Beaver County, which now Mrs. Ramasco is part of as the president. And I, just a little update on that, I wanted to let you know, Dr. Pascarella briefly spoke on it, but a little piece I wanted to read. A collective effort known as Forest Beaver County has formed around ways we can better align the education, economic, post-secondary driver. Leaders in our 14 districts in Beaver County are collaborating on how the system structure and programming of this collaborative work can be evaluated. Flourish Beaver County will take a fresh approach to ensure opportunity and promote development through school and community collaboration. Flourish Beaver County will cultivate and grow the most promising and innovative ideas to tackle the challenges facing our communities, particularly in the field of K-12 education and post-secondary success. A study was done in partnership with Johns Hopkins, which both Dr. Pascarella and I were part of an interview for, with the committee to assist the partnership in goal setting and future planning for the county school districts. I just wanted to read that little update, and I'm hopeful that at some point, and I look forward to that there will be some alignment among districts where we can save money, you know, and maybe possibly combine services with others. I just wanted to make that point known before. This has been ongoing for a few years. It's still continuing, and they just established a Forest Beaver County community members that will continue to carry this on, and I look forward to updates to that and hopefully savings for our district.
Thank you. Any other board discussions?
Real quick, I'll just add briefly, you know, I'm a product of, you know, public schools. I have nothing against charters. I mean, I get it, I understand it. But I just want to make sure that everybody here just understands that this will have ramifications, and they're not going to be positive. I understand that we're going to have discounts and all this, that, and the other, but at the same time, that's still money coming from the district. So as a bridger, or those who live in Ambridge, I pay taxes on multiple properties here. We got to get our act together. Because 10 years ago, when Maiden Academy came here, that's when I first moved here, it sounds like it was above that. And to sit here and say that, you know, this may not, all respect to Providence, 5 years later, if I'm still living here, you can't say it won't be another blood bank. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand. I get kids with disabilities. I grew up in Pittsburgh Public Schools. Okay, we all have disabilities. I get that. But as a public school district here in Ambridge, and then you go to Rochester, you go to Freedom, you go to Beaver Falls, all the Beaver County area, this is going to be a big deal. It'll be a big deal. All praise is going to be a positive outcome. But just based off the history that I've witnessed and heard and things that was said, I don't know. That sounds like we'll be probably sitting, these folks, somebody, you know, we'll be sitting in front of you talking about some hard decisions. Very hard decisions. So I just wanted to make sure that was, you know, my voice was heard on that, and it's tough.
And I concur with you on that. I worry about staff cuts, so on and so forth, and more children and to different schools. I'm a Bridger born at heart. I'll remain a Bridger at heart until I have to be grade. I believe wholeheartedly in this district, and honestly, I believe in Joe Pascarella. I'll say it again, you know, as part of the committee that brought him here, he has saved us a lot of money over the past several years, and I still, once again, look forward to working with him and trying to do this. Improve our financial systems.
So I just wanted to say, I worked in occupational therapy for almost 10 years. I have a child that goes on daycare. She got 504, she got 2 head injuries in the last year. She works with Ms. Rava for her reading. She works for her now. My daughter has majority deficit. She's got 17% of social studies right now. Does she qualify for it? Absolutely not. But it's great to have that resource for those kids and families that are in need. Your kid doesn't qualify, you have them. They can have that if they don't qualify.
But there needs to be more supportive pages and more learning pages for those kids who have needs. Amber, she's amazing. And the teachers are amazing. They do great things for our kids. This, no disrespect to them. We have multiple alternative ed placements for kids. We have what, 13 that we partner with? It's just another resource for families, for those who are in need. Any other discussions?
A lot of people don't know. 9 people were elected to a board. We have fortunately some appointed due to some other things. Normally, there's 9 people as a board. There is one thing to 2 groups that we are responsible for. We have fiduciary responsibility to 2 groups, the taxpayers, and to our children and students. We have these kids in these schools for 12, sometimes 13 years, they go to K and pre-K. If we don't give them the best opportunities, we fail them. And ultimately, we fail ourselves as board of directors. Myself, I can lay down at night and be proud of every decision I've made. It's been a long 14 months for us up here that have been there. Now, you guys talk about how bad Bain Academy was. I've been here 14 months. There's others on the board that have been here probably 14 plus years. If things had been done right for the past 20 to 25, we wouldn't be sitting here today. Kelly and myself graduated in 2000 from this very school, not this school, the old one. I'm proud of where I came from. Public education served me very well. My wife graduated in 2001. She's probably the smartest person I know. We are very proud Bridgers. But the ship has been sinking since 2000, if not even before that. And the 3 of us can probably attest to that. We made the very best of what we were given. We could have been given more, but now we sit here to give back. I'm here for free. My kids are in bed right now. I'm here in front of you. My kids go to state year. Another will start next year. It scares the crap out of me that this district is going down. And that's why at least the 4 of us, Kelly and John, have come here asking for your permission, your trust to bring it back to where we were 25 years ago that Kelly and myself graduated from. It's sad to where we're at now. Dr. Pascarella has worked very hard in his few years here to bring that back. He's done a very good job doing it. I applaud him for all the financial decisions that he's had. We sit in a better place today than we did before. That's the responsibility we have to the taxpayers. We're making decisions, whether it's this or moving kids from school to school, because things need to happen for those kids to get the best quality education for 12 or 13 years. If I don't do that in any decision I make, whether it's financial or to those children, I fail myself and I fail them. I want that kid that starts kindergarten, namely my daughter next year, to graduate in 13 years to be proud of where she came from. As it sits today, I think she could. But if things don't get better or go different or turn over the status quo, because I'm not here for that. John said it well pretty much before. You may vote for me or not. I appreciate what you did, but I'm not here for you to like me. I'm here to do the best that I can do and the best for these kids and the best for the people that actually pay a lot of money in taxes. Yes, we are all one of them. I'd like to cut taxes. Probably not possible anytime soon, but I sure as hell don't want them to go up. Dr. Pascarella has done a very good job for not doing that. as far as this is concerned, I believe the teachers, we don't have enough staff to remediate every single kid that we can identify. To Dr. Filipowski's point, we've implemented various products and other things that is improving. We still have many, many deficits. This is just one opportunity for a family and for a child to do something different. And that's the same thing kids do for Bain Academy. They go there for something different. And bless them for doing it, but mistakes of 15, 20, 25 years ago have led those kids to leave. And they're not going to come back very easily. So it just pains me to have to make a decision, but I'm here to make the best decision.
Yeah, what about, oh, I'm sorry, better marketing, more marketing, and I know I hear that from a lot of people, not just people. Us as a district, we promote kids monthly at the board meetings, and I don't doubt anybody here doesn't feel that we have great kids, we do. But we must get better at promoting.
I agree. I would propose we use some of the money
Well,
to project,
I propose.
to build our programs and project what we do well.
But this is in relation to this, just like in response to that, the VVIU meeting that I attended. They are talking about bringing in kind of marketing resource for all of the districts to utilize. So that's definitely something we can look into, because I agree with you.
Good,
Have to do
great.
it without community.
We are our worst enemy, and I don't mean that to be, but we know the quality of kids that we have, and we need to get better at it.
Any other board discussion? Have a roll call. Mr. Carpenter,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
No.
Mrs. Fisher,
No.
Ms. Fishka, yes. Mr. Haber,
Yes.
Mrs. Peta, no. Mrs. Smith,
Yes.
Raji,
Yes.
Mrs. Dramatica, yeah. Thank you. And I want to thank the board for very good discussion this evening, and I also, at this point, want to thank everyone who came out tonight. I know you're very passionate about what you believe in and what your thoughts are and what you bring to the table, and what I really appreciate. Thank you, guys.
It's just in clarification, I love conversation. We were aware of meetings that, in all honesty, I would have liked more updated on the agreement. I would have preferred earlier information to consider, and that's not prompting you or any, I know we have timelines that we have to adhere to, but for my integrity part, I would like a little more time.
I promise you, we gave you as much time, but a lot of that has been very,
Very just
2 or 3.
That wasn't a date for anybody, it's my personal, I like them all over me for a while.
Agreed, that's why I had an executive session virtually last week. That we would have the opportunity to use.
Very quickly going on with that, so the any of these stages, I guess we're not privy to it first. Dr. Pascarello was involved in the conversations, yeah, other ideas, you were extending all the branches, seeing what's down, that's different. You're getting to ideas, that's more. Basically, I can see tonight, and everybody. You know.
I'll read this one, that's the line. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got about you. 11, 12, 13, 14, not in your head. That's the same working out there. That's not the same. But it's like, that's just right now, you look at the population, the probably. Number 5. Probably going to be from the refund operation report, you know, and set that. Number 16, when you were set, donation, the lifetime, the economy, all of this, and the pre-payment, pass-through. And that's the first thing that we were to still. Government has to see government for services. Number 7, number 7, supports funding the average area, the waste that seems to use somehow, Mr. Customers. All matches, so we free all matches and be all match. Our rate goes to the project is sort of with separate from GOS, grading and demolition. The launch with the existing academy structure, the levels of the school for a total loss of 23,945. Project will get around those 1.38. CMS controls. And the stall and manually boiler for 12,017,000, we say that it's not a process, it's not here for the measure. That's something that allows, it allows right back into short using. Right now, you have a lot of, for example, not needs system, right? Water, energy, needs control access, because we don't use much smaller and not using the water, which is the initial problem. It's different things. Money will be less. We all are in part of the shape of water and all of these and do salary. Certain about us having the time, right? This service integration, sort of water production, and great much addition of bills. You can very spare justice for us to report out better. And I know that Mr. Price and his team is trying to get. Appreciate it. So that's smart going on and anyone who does it interested. That's what they had hoped that this is a big person on provide time about I don't know. It's second part, it's simple resources, model, serve, randomly not 75,000, we use us, and costs, and we also are not high school. Amazing stuff, preparing the schools for that area. You know, that sort of things, yeah, hurts, pain, all that super. Going on and great. It's all fun. I don't want to reason how it's thank you. Number 12, it's right. Number 27, 7,205. Charge to be used to install new line less 30 kilometers of high school. Boston property, which now takes Foster. Repeating the positive prayer for the board, state of crime, the constant boarding of personal property for the following property as listed. For the amounts listed. Number 14, tax exoneration. They start paying road tax exoneration regarding commercial real estate tax for 2023. Condition farming for municipal and county Consolidation. On the school. Following yes, this. So I'd like to make a motion and to approve one through number 14. Let's start that discussion. It's a show. It would take a long time waiting time to bring back. Think about it. I bet you don't need. There's no data in influences the forecast. Yeah. Yes. And yeah. Yes. Yes. Professional association or neighbor, soccer, accident. Also, understanding, meeting the various districts. Regardless of what they are, of the power, 2023, permanent accident. From the laws of the state, provide additional department ratifying fully cover the for policy provide the February 1st, 2023, not to exceed 12 weeks. Also, ratifying fully cover absence under policy 45, then effectively begin March 2023, not to exceed 12 weeks. Number 7 was on last time. So number 8. Number 9 is a resignation. It's recommended to ratify the resignation of Kenny Harlow as a cafeteria utility worker at the high school effective February 7, 2023 with regret. Number 10 is new. In retirement, it is recommended to approve the resignation. Let's say retirement, due to retirement of Betty Olowski, a custodian of middle school effective March 6, 2023 with regret. Number 11 is listed last time. Also number 12 was on there last time. Number 13 is uncompensated leave, recommended to approve the employee number taking an unpaid leave effective April 4, 5, and 11, 2023. This will be a one-time approval for the duration of employment with this district. All personal days must be used before using unpaid days. Number 14 is also new and after-school tutoring. It's recommended to approve the resignation of Glenn Freed as a math tutor to the tutoring program effective February 28, 2023. Number 15 is new, 2022-23 spring coach resignation. It is recommended to ratify the resignation of Carlyn Humphreys from her position as the middle school girls volleyball head coach, effective February 4th, 2023. Number 16 is new, middle school girls volleyball.
It is recommended to amend the approval of Jennifer Axe as the middle school girls assistant coach to the head coach. Number 17 is new, a 2022-23 also spring coach. It is recommended the following individual be approved to fill the designated spring coaching position for 2022-23 school year. And the salary is per the terms of the collective bargaining agreement. Any receipts and clearances, drug screening, TB test, former current employer, and with Act 168. Jen provided the school year allows coaches to hold spring sports as normal. It is a middle school girls volleyball coach. Listed is Corey Cooper as co-assistant at a stipend of $675. Under middle school boys volleyball, we have Jennifer Axe as the assistant at a stipend of $2,050. And under softballs, we have Kaylin Milling, assistant, for $2,200. Number 18 is due this week. 2022-23 spring coach resignation. It's recommended to ratify the resignation of Jordan Barlamas as the boys tennis head coach, effective November 9th, 2022, with regret. Number 19, 2022-23 spring coach stipend adjustments. 2 weeks ago, some of the stipend amounts were incorrect. This is just correcting that. It's recommended to correct and adjust the stipend for the following coaches. They were approved on February 8th, but here we have the new amounts. For baseball, Jason Gurley is the assistant coach at $2,400. And JP Wetzel is also an assistant coach for $2,200. For 20, posted positions, club and activities. It is recommended to amend Casey Neal's approval as junior class sponsor to junior class co-sponsor. And is furthermore recommended to approve Nicole Conley as junior class co-sponsor as well. Each is paid a stipend of $1,075. For 21 para educators, it is recommended to ratify the following individual fill para educator position as per the terms of the support professional association. We have Joy Betalta at the middle school. I apologize if I mispronounced that. And under number 22 is a tutoring. It is recommended to approve the following teacher for tutoring at all grade levels to address the learning gaps due to COVID-19. The tutoring program will meet a maximum of 2 days a week. Teacher will be paid 1.5 hours per day at the contracted rate. This is funded through Messrs. 3 grants. At State Street, we have Erica Brozich. And number 23 is the last chance agreement. It is recommended to approve the agreement related to employee number 1786, subject to finalization. And number 24 is a sabbatical leave. It is recommended to approve sabbatical leave consistent with and subject to sections 1166-1171 of the Public School Code of 1949 as amended for employee number 1786, effective for the second half of this school year, 2022-23, contingent upon mutual execution of the agreement referenced in item number 23. All I have this evening. I will make a motion to accept items 1 through 24. If there's no other discussion.
Yeah. Any more discussion? Go ahead.
Mr. Carpenter,
Yes.
Mr. David,
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher. Yes. Mrs. Snow.
Yeah.
Mr. Gaber,
Yes.
Mrs. Tino.
Yes.
Mrs. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Zaki,
Yes.
Mrs. Romano.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. I have nothing this evening. Nothing. Thank you. That's special.
Just congratulations to the students here at the staff.
Thank you. It is now time for old new business. Any district resident who desires to comment on any business relevant to the Ambergris School District should now come forward. Each person must state their first and last name and address prior to speaking. Each person will be allowed 3 minutes to complete only one. If anybody wishes to speak this evening.
like to address the board on athletics. Ambridge, in my opinion, has too many athletic programs. I was on the board at one time, but I brought this up years ago. You only have so many athletes in a district. Back in the day when I competed over here, we had 560 people graduate. Now you got 150. Okay, but you have 3 times the amount of athletics. So what that tells us, you have a bunch of losers. They all lose. You don't have anybody that's winning and have pride. But go to Allegheny with your white teachers, you'll see if those kids graduate 3,000 kids. So they have winning programs because of the amount of athletes. Every only has so many athletes, period. So let's say in the boys program, you have 15 athletes that are in the building. I'm talking about athletes, not just boys. So you have 5 that play soccer, 4 that play this, and 3 play that. So you got football, you got 2 athletes, the rest of just boys. Okay, you need to cut your programs down so you can bring some pride back to this school to be winners. The other programs you can add, just send them out. So they have a co-op with different districts if they want to play. One other thing is, I know you hired a softball coach, we're not gonna get into the personnel issues, but why would you hire somebody that has no experience? There you go, failure again, okay? In my opinion, you're here at the high school level to be winners. You're not gonna be a winner as a coach, you're gone. That's just simple facts. When you're in junior high, you're a teacher, you teach these kids the fundamentals, get them up. You get to high school, you're here to win. If you can't win, you're gone. And that's the way it should be, and that's the way you have to put forth the effort to these coaches. You have to understand that you don't win, you're out of here. And I can give them a 3-year program or whatever you want to give them, but that's what has to be. Then I understand if you have a lady that's dressed in a men's locker. I don't know how you're adjusting that, but it was all over Facebook. The other thing, you hire a principal at a higher rate than other principals. Why? Why would you do something like that? Why would you spend my money? He wants to save money? I'll show you how to save money. Why did you give that person extra money? Explain it to me. Nobody? That's all I have to say.
I'm curious now, I do want to ask, what would you cut in athletics and what team or athletes here are you calling the leagues? Athletics in Ambridge is a very, very strong point of pride for anyone. Whether you go out and win 1 game or 25, athletics is very proud of you, and it has been.
It's not a participation sport. When you're here, it's not a participation sport.
Okay, who do you want to cut?
I'm here to try to get that.
Who do you want to cut? I want to know who you want to cut.
That's your job. That's not mine.
It's your idea, so who you're gonna cut.
It's not my job.
Go ahead, tell us.
It's your job.
Tell us who to cut. Your idea, give us the ideas.
You want me to go home and figure out who to cut? You gotta have Title IX. You gotta figure out who your Title IX people are. How many?
Exactly, so you're down to, you can't cut anyone.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking?
Forget it. I'm not even gonna talk to you. If you can't figure that out, you can't look at your athletic program to figure out what loses or what wins, I can't help.
Well, we know.
Just read the newspaper. Go to a football game, there's 67 men up. You think that's pride?
Hey, by the way, there's an election in November.
You're absolutely right, no run.
Come on out. You can do better, come back. Our athletes are not losers. Whether they're winning on the court or not, they're not losers.
I'm not talking about the athletes. You have athletes and you have students.
Anything else to address the board this evening? Okay. Anybody?
Motion to adjourn.
Perfect.
Second.
And all in favor?
Like to get the light back for your classroom. For.
Let's